No. Hello and welcome to the Dump and Chase podcast on 88.1 FM. Great start there, getting the music playing. Reid and Rebecca back in the studio with you as always, back with another show. We do have a guest tonight, though. We're joined by Flyers sophomore defenseman Josh Dipego. Josh, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Glad we could make this happen. With the beautiful weather, we're keeping you from outside, but thanks for coming in anyway.
It's getting dark
That's
anyway.
true. So the way we do things here is we kind of split it up. We'll talk about hockey, and then we'll talk a little bit about school, personal life, and we got a fair amount of odd questions that we throw in there as well. But jumping right into it, how old were you when you started playing hockey, and what was kind of the things that influenced you to start playing?
Yeah, so I was roughly, I want to say around 9 years old. Nobody in my family really played hockey. My parents definitely didn't. I didn't really know anyone who did. But the one thing that kind of flipped the switch for me, we had a cousin, my mom's cousin, her kid played hockey. And they came out for a tournament that was actually at Canlan Ice Arena. And we went and saw him play. And after that, me and my brother were like, yeah, we definitely want to play hockey.
That's cool.
It was very exciting. So it was definitely
That's cool. Yeah. So starting a little bit, I guess you could say relatively later compared to a lot of other guys, right. How has that kind of affected your career as it's gone on?
Yeah, definitely. So I kind of had a slow start. I definitely played lower levels of hockey. Definitely started out with house league, then went into really low levels kind of. And, it was hard to kind of find a groove and become the player that I am today. One thing that definitely helped was we did a spring thing with the Mission. So they kind of generously gave me a spot on that.
Nice.
So I definitely developed a lot there. And then I'd say switching teams kind of helped too.
Sure.
I got to meet some new people, definitely friends that I have today still. And, just a lot of competition, and I've always been a competitive guy. So
it's kind of just worked out.
Yep.
Absolutely. So kind of as your years went on playing hockey, what was kind of the driving influence of you continuing to play? What kind of made hockey stick?
Definitely the teams that I've been on, the people you get to meet, the places you get to go with those people. I've had great experiences with every team I've been on, and including Lewis with the short time I've been here so far. But yeah, definitely my teammates. I remember all of them, still talk to pretty much all of them. So
sure. You mentioned your short time here at Lewis so far. As you were kind of early in your career, starting a little bit later, as you mentioned, having a little bit of a slower start, was college ever really a thought of playing for you, or was it something that came up a little bit more recently? Or
yeah, it was definitely never a thought that I'd be playing college hockey. I kind of figured my last state game at high school would be my last game
Sure.
of competitive hockey. That was definitely the mindset, going to a school that doesn't have a hockey team and, not playing any league until one of my coaches said, hey, we have an extra spot. It's just kind of like a mess around league you want to play. So I was like, sure. So it's definitely always been there, but I never expected to be playing college hockey.
Sure. Are there any players that you model your play style after?
Not specifically. I mean, growing up, I always looked up to Zdeno Chara and Sidney Crosby. I definitely don't have the skill level they do, but just their work ethic definitely
Sure.
kind of something that stuck with me. Kind of that Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality, outwork
Absolutely.
everybody that's out there.
Yep. Anything specific throughout the years that you had to give up in order to play hockey?
A lot of time. It's definitely, and that was one of the things that kind of pushed me away from playing college hockey, was giving up all that time.
Sure.
But now that I'm in it, I definitely don't regret it. I definitely think that it's worth the time.
Sure. Even if it draws you away from other things, it's
Right.
still worth it. So your current number, 21? Okay. Any special meaning behind it?
No, not really. I'd say if I had my first choice, it'd probably be 7. That's just my lucky number.
Got
But
it.
through high school, I didn't have very much choice, so I went through a couple of different ones. And then this year, it was kind of, I checked out the roster, saw it was available. And 21 was what my older brother used to wear. It's my mom's favorite number, so I
Okay.
figured, it'd probably look nice on
Sure.
me too.
Sure. Any nicknames that you've gotten from the team throughout your short time here at Lewis?
Yeah, so they call me Skinny J.
Okay.
In part because my dad is Fat Ricky, the Fat Ricky.
Ah, yes, sure,
so
sure.
they kind of played off that. So
That's good. I like that little play off of your dad's nickname. So even though you've only been at Lewis for, I guess, now half a season, what role do you think you've kind of slotted into on the roster?
Definitely one that I wasn't really ready for going into the season. With 4D, they don't have very much options as to where to put who and when guys play. So I'm out there for pretty much half the game. So definitely, coach told me, it's been a great help to have me on the team. And being on the power play was something new to me. I've never been on a power play before, so kind of adjusting to that and stepping into this new role as kind of one of the guys the coaches rely on has been an interesting change for me.
Sure. Have you always played defense, or was there
it was always defense for me. I don't really have the offensive talent.
Okay.
So defensively, I'm a stand-up guy.
Sure, there you go. Whatever works, I suppose. Let's see. Do you have any pregame rituals that you have to do to kind of get in that mindset before a game?
No, not really. I don't really have a lot of superstitions. One thing I usually do when I step out on the ice, though, is take a stretch, like a good wide stride, and that kind of really sets me into the zone.
Sure, absolutely. Kind of gets you locked in a little bit. Any specific music that you like to listen to before the game?
It changes. It goes from country to rap to, like dance music. So
it rotates.
Yeah, whatever the guys are listening to in the locker room.
I would say we hear that Partial is the DJ in the locker room.
He's got a couple fantastic playlists.
I was going to say pulled out the Nickelback a fair bit, I assume, yes, from what I've heard, of course. Partial is your defensive partner as well, correct?
Yes.
What's that been like playing with him, being a little bit more of a senior guy on the team?
Yeah, it's been great. He's definitely helped me mold into the role I'm at right now. And he's a fantastic leader. You really see it in him. He was kind of born to be a leader, definitely for the team.
Yeah.
But having him on the backside definitely gives me some confidence, and I know
sure,
if he's going up, he's definitely going to get back and support me back on the defensive side.
Definitely brings that energy as well. He's probably one of the most energetic guys on the team.
Yeah.
Always can get that and gets everyone fired up. If you could play another sport, let's say at the collegiate level, what would it be?
Probably golf, just because I do it so much. I mean, I'm no good at it, but I love golfing. So
sure. We have a lot of guys say baseball. Is there I don't know, we've seen this large link between hockey players and baseball players, from playing both in high school. Is that a really common thing, or is it just a small sample size here at Lewis?
Yeah, if it wasn't golf, I would have said baseball. I grew up playing baseball. My brother's a baseball player. So
got it.
I'm not sure what the link is. It's a good question. Maybe it's just being outside in the warm sun instead of a cold ice rink, kind of switch things up.
Get the hockey in the winter and the baseball in the summer.
Right.
I suppose that makes sense. What's been the most important lesson you've learned during your time playing hockey?
Just to be confident in myself, not to be scared to go into things
sure,
that I'm not really ready for.
Sure, absolutely. And out of your teammates, I guess we can say past or present, who have you learned the most from, or who's had kind of the most impact on your career?
I'd probably say my goalies, each and every one of my goalies. There's a tight bond between the defense and the goalies. I always kind of make sure I set that right away. Coming in this year, I definitely wanted to get close to my goalies.
Yeah.
But they're always a great help. They see things that I don't see, and they point them out to me. So they're always helpful.
Absolutely. Well, what's kind of the process of forming that bond between a defenseman and the goalie, especially coming into a new team this year? Can you kind of walk us through what all goes into that?
Well, it definitely starts at practice. For me, it started, seeing where they're strong, where I can score on them. That kind of gives me perspective of if a guy's coming in and taking a shot on him, should I let him take the shot or should I step in and try and block that?
Sure.
Other than that, it's off the ice too, talking to him, getting to know him as a person, building that chemistry, and kind of expecting what they're going to do before they do it out on the ice.
Just kind of playing to their strengths and
right,
trying to read them as much as you can. So what kind of team bonding activities in general kind of take place, and have there been any that have been your favorite?
With COVID, there's not a lot of stuff to do, obviously. So we try and, hang out, watch on Wednesday nights after practice. We'll go and we'll watch some hockey.
Nice.
Get a couple guys together and just enjoy the hockey.
Sure.
Hang out a little bit.
We've heard a lot about Hell Week as well from guys as kind of that first bonding experience. How was that for you coming in?
So we actually didn't have one this year, so unfortunately
okay.
I didn't get to experience that.
Got it. You guys just had a prolonged. What time did you guys what month did you guys start practicing?
They were practicing in the fall.
Okay.
And Coach Mark had me come out around October.
Got it. Okay.
And then we practiced through. We had a little bit of break right around before the start of the season in January.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been practicing since the fall.
Got it. So you've kind of had this like not hell week, but it's just kind of been extended multiple months, I suppose.
Right.
So looking at your skill as a player, which is the area that you think you kind of excel at the most?
Definitely defense. I got a good stick. I can make some good poke checks when need be.
Sure.
Break up a couple passes here and there. I can read when a guy's gonna go around the net or if he's gonna try and pull out in front. But yeah, definitely defensively is where that's my stuff.
Sure. If you could borrow a skill from a teammate, what skill would it be and who would it come from?
It'd probably be creating space like Matt Ernsting does. He really is able to put the puck in an area where you can't get it and make his way around you. I try and reflect that in my game now.
That's a new one we've heard. We've heard Ernie's shot and Ernie's speed, but we haven't heard about creating space, which is interesting. I like that. If you could, I just skipped over one actually. If your teammates could choose an animal to describe your playing style, what do you think they would say? This is where we get to more of the fun questions.
Right.
These are when the curveballs come out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wow. What kind of animal?
What have other guys said in the past?
Morrow said a fox because he's cunning, and Liga said a bear because he has a big body.
Ligas does not have a big body.
That's what somebody else too said.
I guess I'd say I'm a bear as well, kind of a protective guy.
Sure.
Stay home and protect the Cubs.
I like that. Let's see. If you could have a player card in the NHL games, what would your highest rating category be? And we'll let you make up a category as well, because I think someone said communication as their category. So you can choose whatever category you want to be on your player card.
I'd probably say awareness. I got pretty good vision out there on the ice. I can see where a lane's gonna open up for a pass or where the other team's gonna try and throw the puck. So
Sure.
I kind of would say awareness. So just because I definitely I'm able to read what the other team's doing and what my guys are doing.
Absolutely. Who is it that said communication?
Let me look
Do we have that written down? I can't remember who said that. That may have been our most creative answer for that one, and I'm curious to see who said it.
It was either Partial or Darcy.
Yeah, I can see that fitting both of them now that you say that. Two of the more vocal guys on the bench. We have so many answers.
Oh, no, Darcy said comedy.
Okay.
Colton said communication.
Oh, Colton said, okay. Also very fitting for comedy for Darcy, though. That one fits him to a T. If you could play for any NHL team, who would it be?
Definitely the Blackhawks.
The Hawks.
Yeah.
Grew
up a fan.
Expected.
Always been a fan.
Of course.
Fan, so.
Of course. They're not having a bad season this year.
Surprisingly, yeah. They don't look too good on paper, but they make it look good on the ice.
I was going to say, that seems to be the assessment. Yeah. They're like the opposite of the Buffalo Sabres. They like...
A never-ending loop.
The Sabres always look good on paper, and then they just come out there and they're a dumpster fire for somehow. Don't know how to do it. But the Hawks are, what, 4th in their division?
Yeah, I believe 4th.
Last time I checked?
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Maybe they're a little bit of a dark horse contender this season, which is good.
People seem they're going to make it to the playoffs. So
nice. Yeah, because what are they doing for the playoffs this year? It's the top 4 in each division?
I think, yeah.
Top 4 in each division, and then they play out, and, that's your conference final, kind of, I think. I don't know. That's what I think it is. I have no idea. I guess we'll find out come the end of the season, I suppose. What is the strangest thing you've seen happen during a game? Kind of your hockey oddity.
Strangest thing I've seen happen during a game, probably. I don't know. You've probably seen us play with the soccer ball out before the game.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Definitely seen a couple things fly over the netting and end up on the ice mid-play. Kind of like, what's going on? Might play stop, and then you see a soccer ball rolling down center ice.
That's great. I remember there was one game this season where I think, it was either you guys or the other team, chipped the puck into your guys' bench, 3 times in, 5 minutes or something like that. There were, 3 really quick stoppages of play, and it's the puck's back in the Lewis bench,
Mark might have said something they didn't really like.
Taking an aim at the coach on the bench. That would be bold. I remember we were at Marion last year, and the guys were playing sewer, and they have that really small rink next to it, and someone launched it over the glass onto that one and had to run out there. And then, of course, they closed the door, tried to lock him on the rink. That was hilarious.
Yeah, we were out there on Saturday against Marion, so that happened 2 or 3 times again.
Of course. That was also the small rink. they were they were trying to Zamboni it, and they took the corner too quick, and like they messed up the front of the Zamboni. And the other one, there was something wrong with the other one, because we weren't sure if the game was actually going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Because the second one, they had to put a tractor starter in it to get the thing to start, because it wouldn't start with the one that it had. So they're like desperately trying to piece this thing together before the game, and like we're just kind of looking around like we don't know if it's going to happen or not. And then like I think they ended up playing the first period on rough ice.
Yeah.
And then they finally got it working for the first intermission, which was hilarious. Maybe it's just a Marion thing at that rink. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that rink at all.
There's so many odd things that happen there, I feel. I feel like you can get lost in that rink too. Like I remember like walking to the rink, like I felt like we like took so many twists and turns to get there. And then like there's like that set of stairs that just like seems to go nowhere. Like it's kind of odd there, but let's see, where were we? Something interesting about you that people may not know. Kind of like a strange talent or
You know, I get this question, and it's a common question, and I never really have an answer for it. Not to say that I'm talentless, but
a lot of guys have problems with it. You work at your dad's restaurant, though.
Right.
Are you like really good at like flipping a pizza? Like, is that a talent?
I'm not the best. One of my coworkers can spin it for a good 45 seconds straight.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely
impressive.
guys who have a little bit more talent. But yeah, I can do it. I try it. You know, it feels cool when you do it. Throw it up and then you spin it on your hand.
Absolutely, yeah. As long as it doesn't come crashing down on you,
Right.
I suppose. Let's see. What order do you put your equipment on? Do you go left, right, skates before pants, pants before skates, anything like that?
So funny thing, one superstition I did have throughout high school, and I don't have it anymore. I would always put my neck guard on first.
Very first thing was the neck guard?
thing was the neck guard.
Regardless of it. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Made no sense because definitely should have been the last thing to put on. But now I don't wear one, so I don't got anything like that.
Got it. But any like left, right, left skate, right skate first? No, just whatever you grab off the shelf. Really? Wow, that's interesting. Okay. A lot of guys are very particular with the order, though. Like some guys are like left everything, right everything. Do you do pants before skates or skates before pants?
I do pants before skates.
Pants before skates. Okay.
I used to do skates before pants.
That's bold.
Yeah, I messed up my skates though. The tongue is kind of sticking out, so now I can't tuck it under my shin guard. So there's no reason for me to put my skates on before the pants.
That's fair. Let's see. If you could participate in any skills competition at the All-Star Game, what would it be and why?
Probably the shootout. I think I could get pretty creative.
Oh, there you go. Pull out some moves. Yeah. Who do you think from the team would perform the best in a shootout?
That's a good question. Trying to think.
We saw Ernie with the penalty shot.
Yeah.
On Friday, which kind of threw me for a loop. It kind of caught me off guard. Didn't see that coming, but.
Darcy definitely has some good hands. Same as Ernie. I'll say Brett Kandra, though. Whenever we do shootouts out there in practice, he pretty much puts the puck in the back of the net every time, just with a simple shot. He always finds the opening and buries it.
Just snipes it in. Let's see. If a player had to fill in and coach a game, who would be the best option for the team?
Definitely Dylan Partial. He's kind of got a coaching role as it is now.
I feel like that's the unanimous answer at this point.
Partial, Darcy, and someone said Morrow.
I could see Partial doing good, though.
Morrow's a little quiet, so.
Partial just firing up the guys, getting everyone excited. Have like a ton of energy on the bench, I feel. What is your biggest pet peeve in hockey?
Biggest pet peeve? Probably linesmen and refs just making terrible calls. It just happens way too often.
That's fair.
They got 6 to 8 eyes watching the game out there, and they still miss a lot of stuff.
Something. What has been the worst missed call you've seen during your career?
I've seen someone full two-hand swing a kid at the shin and break his stick over the kid's shin guard, and no call was made. So,
wow, that is bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when the stick breaks, that's a pretty easy call. The evidence is right there.
It's a telltale sign.
Exactly.
Spelled out on the ice.
Yeah, you'd think that would be easy. Oh wow. Let's see. If both goalies were to go down, who would be the best one to step in and take up the goalie job?
Our goalies right now?
Yeah.
I think they're both pretty equal as to how good they are. They both step up when they need to and make those big saves.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fisher has a lot of a potential, though.
Sure.
Watching that game against Aurora, you mentioned it a lot. The score didn't really tell
saves.
a story of the goaltending. And I told him the next day on the bus, I was like, Mike, that was a fantastic game.
He had a very good game. I was really impressed by that. Like some of those, like he's like a bigger guy too, but he can move.
He can definitely move, and I feel that in practice when he snags a couple from me.
Of course, he had one where he lunged to his left and just grabbed it with his toe. Like that one was crazy. I'm like, okay, this guy's good. Like even though it was 7-1, I believe the final. Like he had some stellar saves there. It was a really good game.
He played a fantastic game.
Absolutely. Let's see. Who has the worst tape job on the team?
Definitely Zach Bishop.
the candy cane.
The candy cane all the way down to the toe.
So we were. I think we asked our last guest this. Does he? So when he tapes a stick, does he go handle into the candy cane, into the blade, just all in one clean swoop?
No, it's not in one clean swoop. He keeps the candy cane on the shaft for a couple games, but the blade is actually retaped pretty much every game.
The blade is retaped. Okay, got it. I was saying, if he would have gone in all in one clean swoop, that would have been impressive. Just use half a roll of tape.
That might be a more effective way to do it.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe you'll have to start doing that. Just do it all in one clean motion and just get it all done right there. If you could start an NHL franchise in any city, where would you place one? And what would the team name be as well? I guess we can throw that out there.
Probably somewhere out in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Give Minnesota a second team.
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah.
It's a huge hockey state.
They would love having a second team.
Close up to Canada too. Maybe somewhere out in Canada. If I had to give them a name, I don't know. I always used to do this in NHL, like the video game NHL, where you create a team.
The franchise mode?
I always had good names, but I can't think of one right now.
Rebecca, where would you place a team?
Probably somewhere in Canada.
Somewhere in Canada?
I don't know where, though.
I don't know what I would do. Maybe I'd bring back the Atlanta Thrashers. Because I personally really liked their jerseys, especially those baby blue ones. I don't know. I thought those were pretty cool. And maybe we'll bring them back with proper ownership that actually knows how to manage a team and not lose the city a third team. I don't know. Maybe bring the Nordiques back in Quebec, because everyone wants that, it seems.
Yeah.
Or maybe give Milwaukee an NHL team because they never had one. They had the arena and then nothing ever happened, unfortunately. But do you have any favorite NHL jerseys?
Favorite jersey, I'd probably say one of those old Blackhawks one they wore in the Winter Classic with the kind of brownish tint and the big circle logo.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Little black and red ones, definitely.
Do you have any favorites from the reverse retros that they just came out with?
Yes, I remember seeing one and actually saving it on Instagram, but I'm drawing a blank on it right now. I think the Red Wings looks terrible.
The Red Wings is terrible.
It's a practice jersey.
We can all agree on that one. Yeah.
I like the Golden Knights one. It's kind of strange that they have a retro jersey after being in the league for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, they go back to their other Vegas hockey ties. Yeah. I really like Arizona's, the purple one.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty sweet.
It's kind of like the it's so bad it's good. It's so bizarre, the whole look of it. You got the desert on the bottom, and it's what is this thing? But then, the more and more you look at it, you're like, wow, it looks kind of cool. It looks really bad on TV, though. It comes through really dark on the broadcast. I feel like it would be a lot brighter purple. The Kings are cool, too. They have their bright purple, too. Those things are clean. But, yeah, the Red Wings ones are just a miss. Or, the Islanders. We got to ask Justin his thoughts on the Islanders reverse retro. Because they just took their home jersey and we're just going to make it a little bit darker blue. And then there's that looks great. And we're like, what? I don't know. Their alternate looks better than that, but I don't know. Let's see what else we got. What's the most exciting game you've ever played in your career?
I've been to a couple state championships at the JV level.
Okay.
But definitely I'd say state semifinal versus Loyola Gold I guess it's 2 years ago now.
Okay.
Fans were definitely electric that game.
Sure.
A lot of energy, and when we gave up 2 pretty early and came back within we got 2 goals in around 15 seconds. So
oh wow,
that was very, very exciting to be a part of.
I can imagine. Looking at your first game with Lewis, what was that like? A little bit of a different scenario with, minimal spectators there. What was kind of going through your head for that game?
Yeah, so I tried to go in without any nerves. I've been in a position like that before, new team, new league. Just try and get a feel for it first couple minutes and then go from there. But with the no fans, it's very weird.
Yeah.
But it definitely took off a little bit of pressure in my first game.
That's true. When you guys started the season, because I think there was a home game that we didn't go to, correct?
It was the first one, yeah.
The first one that we didn't go to. Were there like no people there, or was like a couple people per player? Because I know like you guys have like a certain amount now that you can.
Yeah, so it's always been like one person per player, and then if the other team doesn't bring enough people, we got leftover seats we kind of hand out.
Okay, one person per player. Wow, that would be a tough choice for what parent to send for some guys, I feel.
Yeah, my dad told my mom that he's going. He's like, yeah, I'm going. You're not going.
They made that decision quick. He's like, yep, that'll be me. Let's see. In the locker room, who has the cleanest stall and who has the dirtiest stall?
I like to think my stall is pretty clean. I don't really have anything. I think someone put my water bottle next to me and everything's in order.
I think someone had mentioned your name for stalls, I believe. I feel like I remember hearing your name come up for clean stalls. Anyone for the dirtiest stall?
Dirtiest? Moro's kind of losing it over there. I sit right next to him, and he's got his stuff on my side. It kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. But, I mean, he's just got a lot of stuff that he likes to, before practice, he's got to tape his stick. He's got to wash his fish bowl.
No, he's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
That's fair. Let's see. The best and worst hair on the team.
Best hair, Zach Bishop, hands down.
Zach Bishop? Yeah. Bishop has some good flow going.
Yeah, very good flow.
When he grows it out.
Worst hair, probably Jack Pusatera. I mean, the kid looks like he rolls out of bed and walks to practice every day. Like, no effort. At least throw a hat on, buddy.
That's great. Oh, man. Who would you say is the best skater on the team?
Best skater? I'd say Matt Morrow.
Okay.
He's definitely able to get around a guy.
Sure.
And cut an edge.
Sure.
Like that, real agile, and he's very fast as well.
Who is the best style on the team?
Best style? I was talking to a buddy I used to play at Providence with. He was watching one of the games, and he brought up Michael Legas' name.
Oh, okay. We talking on ice style then?
On ice.
Okay. What stands out for Legas?
I think it's the electrical tape on the socks. Most guys go with the normal clear tape, but he likes to go with the electrical black tape.
I've never noticed that.
We've chirped him for it, and he just kind of embraced it.
Wow.
So.
Hold on. Now I need to go back and look at a picture of this. I've never noticed this. Wow. Let's see. What? Oh, my gosh. He does wear black tape. Would you look at that? Never noticed that. Wow. Okay. Huh. Wow. Interesting. Well, mark that down as a question to ask him if he's ever on the show again. Wow. I would not have noticed that if you didn't point it out. What about best style off the ice?
Off the ice, I'll probably give it to Partial.
Partial? Okay.
He wears a lot of Lululemon because he works there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's good.
But he wears this one, like, it looks like a pajama suit. I don't know. It's just a red long sleeve and long pant, and it looks like pajamas. So I don't know what that's about, but it's it's working out for him.
I suppose so. We've also heard Darcy's name mentioned a lot. And a lot of people like the peacoats he has.
Yeah.
Supposedly he has a large selection of peacoats. Who on the team is the best at sewer?
There's a couple guys who are, I'd say Darcy, probably number one, but Partial, Ernie, those guys definitely got a lot of experience.
Sure.
But Darcy does some cool stuff out there.
Have you guys had to play sewer outside still with the COVID restrictions? Because that's what we were hearing about at the start of the season, how you guys had to take it outside.
So for home games, we've always played it inside.
Oh, you haven't been able to? Okay.
Yeah.
Where did we hear that
We
from?
play outside
on the road?
before practice, so in the parking lot.
Before practice. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, got it. Yeah, I think Mark had mentioned it to us.
Yeah, because I was on the phone with him, and he's like, oh, there's people in here. Should I hit him?
Like,
no, that's your team.
That's right. Yeah, because he was on his way to the rink in the car. Yeah, and he was threatening to take out his team. That probably would have been a good idea. But that'll do it for the hockey questions. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. We'll talk a little bit about school. And we got a little bit more mind-bending questions, I suppose we can say, after the break. But you're listening to the Dump and Chase podcast on 88.1. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Dump and Chase podcast on 88.1 FM WLRA The Start. Lewis University in Romeoville, Illinois. Reid and Rebecca. Once again joined by Flyers defenseman Josh Dipego. We talked about hockey before the break. Going to be talking a little bit about school, a little bit more personal questions. So starting off, what made you decide to come to Lewis? Was it kind of the academics, the hockey, a mix of both?
Yeah, it was definitely the hockey for me. I had taken a semester off because the online classes I had a difficulty doing when I was over at UIC. So I figured I'd save up some money and figure out where I want to go once things kind of return back to a little bit of normalcy.
Sure.
But I was just working one day and someone told me someone was at the bar to see me. So I walk out and I see Coach Mark. And he's like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" You know, we catch up and he's like, "Listen, I got a spot for you if you ever want to play." And I'm like, "Oh, well, yes. Sign me up." Yeah, I
say no more.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to get my school done anyway, so I might as well play hockey while I'm at it.
Sure, that's great. How Mark sought you out and found you to join the team. That's really good. So what's your major and what kind of plans do you have for the future? Hopefully with it.
Yeah, so I'm a finance major.
Okay.
I'm hoping to take that and kind of do with it what I want to. I have a couple of businesses I'd like to run.
Sure.
Different ideas. Kind of learn from my father and his business partner.
Yeah.
And take what I learn and kind of figure out what I want to do later.
Nice.
I was doing computer science at UIC.
Okay.
But the engineering, the kind of sitting at a desk all day wasn't really for me.
A little boring.
So I figured do finance and see how it goes.
Well, that's two people that's transferred out of computer science because you did too, Rebecca, right?
Yeah.
Because what were you? You were a double major or something.
I was a double major in information systems and information risk and security management.
What do you even do with that? Is that like security, like IT security, or what?
So I was doing it more so for like the web development, but I was going with a more broad major.
Oh boy.
I hated it.
It sounds like too much math.
It wasn't that much math.
That's fair. So have there been any goals that you've set for yourself kind of early on in your college career, even at UIC, and, you know, how, you know, either, let's say, you know, academically and now that you're playing hockey, any hockey goals that you have?
A goal I'd say is graduate on time, definitely, and coming into the semester I was kind of set on getting a 4.0.
Nice.
It's not going very well. A couple of exams kind of.
We still got time.
Right.
We're only halfway through.
Right. Hopefully we can turn it back around to that. But for hockey, you know, just kind of take over a leadership role on the team, and I think that's kind of my goal right now.
Absolutely. Let's see. What are 3 things on your bucket list?
3 things on my bucket list. Well, I can't skydive or scuba dive physically because it may cause me to die. But those are common ones, so those are off the list for sure. I want to travel a lot.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna, you know, go across the country over the summer.
Nice.
Maybe head up to Canada if we can.
Yeah. Fingers
definitely
crossed.
Traveling. I definitely want to own some sort of business. Not sure what yet.
Okay.
And then I'd say, definitely the biggest one on my bucket list would be to own a golf course, and that definitely takes a lot of money. But
that's a little bit of an investment.
Right, it's a stretch, but it's definitely on that list.
That would be cool, though. That would be cool. Maybe if you open your own pizza chain someday,
right.
You can have your own golf course. Serve your own pizza at your own golf course. That would be like
that's actually not a bad idea.
Be like a major power move right there. Rebecca, what's on your bucket list? I don't think we've asked you this question yet.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, we have?
It's the only thing I came up with graduate.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're close. You're 8 weeks away, okay? Like,
it's too far.
It's too far. It's 8 weeks. That's 2 months, okay? Come on, we're going to spring break. Yeah. You just want to graduate. Oh, boy. So if you could invite anyone, living or dead, to dinner, who would it be and why? And we also add in the twist of what meal would you serve them? This one is a very complex question.
Yeah, I want to think of a good answer. Wow.
No pressure, but Dylan Parsh will probably have the best answer yet. We'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
But not to influence you, but.
Probably Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely grew up looking up to him.
Sure.
And especially now that he's, passed away.
Yeah.
Sadly, it kind of brings that back and reminds you of what he was all about and
Absolutely.
what he did. So
yeah.
We would probably eat steak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely good.
Nice.
A good ribeye, some
Nice.
mashed potatoes.
I could go for that. It would beat the burger I had from the student union earlier for dinner. Partial's answer. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. We had Partial and Bishop on together for an episode, and Partial went first and said Jesus, and said that he would serve fish or sushi to Jesus because he knows a thing or two about fish, which, you really can't top Jesus. So Bishop goes next and says Kevin Hart, much to the disappointment of Partial, who he's like, Kevin Hart, I say Jesus and you say Kevin Hart. And Partial's just going off, and Zach has this look on his face like, what do you want me to say? You can't top Jesus. It was hilarious.
Yeah, any answer he had given, he could have said the same thing.
Exactly. Any answer you give, it's not gonna live up to Jesus. So Partial, I think, I think he'll forever have the best answer for that question because you just can't top it. If you could only keep one app on your phone, what would it be?
Probably Twitter.
Okay.
Definitely scroll through that a lot. There's a lot of funny stuff and a lot of news stuff, so
that's fair.
You get a little mix of both.
I like Twitter for like the sports updates and stuff. Like I feel like that's the best spot for that. Yeah. How about you, Rebecca? What app would you keep on your phone?
No clue.
You have no idea what app you would keep?
What app do I use the most?
Oh boy, yeah. Let's all look at our screen time. That'll end well. I spent 6 hours on TikTok yesterday.
My highest on TikTok has been 3 hours. It's not 18 like my friends.
Yeah. Are you a big TikTok user, Josh?
Yeah,
it's
hard to stay away from. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I was a big Vine guy back when Vine was the thing.
Sure. Yeah, so. I never really got into Vine, and I haven't gotten into TikTok either, which may be a good thing, honestly.
Yeah, I was definitely chirping TikTok before I downloaded it. And I was like, okay, I see why people are on this app.
That's fair. That's kind of like a don't knock it till you try it thing. Right. I can see that. What would be your top 3 burger toppings?
Jalapenos, mayo, and ketchup. That's all you need on a burger.
Perfect. So a special question for you, being the son of Fat Ricky. What are your top 3 pizza toppings?
You got to throw some fresh garlic on there.
Oh, okay.
Makes the sauce better and definitely tastes fantastic. I go back and forth between sausage and pepperoni, but you got to have green peppers on there. That's a must.
I can get on board with that. That sounds
green
good.
Peppers on every single pizza I eat.
Rebecca and I were having this debate before. You've probably been asked this a million times. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
It does. It has a right on pizza. I'll tell you why.
I told you, Rebecca.
I'll tell you why. I make this one pizza with a barbecue sauce, chicken, bacon, and I throw jalapenos and pineapple. You get a little sweet heat, and it is phenomenal.
I can get on board with that. That sounds really good, actually.
Nope.
Wow.
With the tomato sauce, I'll say it's iffy. I've had it once or twice, but
you kind of need a different sauce on there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like the pineapple, it gives a little bit of sweetness.
Okay, but I also don't like
coolness.
Pineapple, so that might be why.
Okay, that doesn't help. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a biased answer.
I like it on pizza. I'm glad we have the debate, figured out from someone that works at a pizza place,
A pizza professional.
You are the voice of authority in the pineapple and pizza debate. What does your dad think? Does your dad agree with you about
I would
pineapple
actually
belong?
have to ask him what his thoughts are on that.
Okay. Maybe we'll need to check back with to see what the man himself, Fat Ricky, says. Because if there's anyone that is the true authority on pizza, it has to be him, right? Let's see. Of all the guys on the team, if you were to do an arm wrestling tournament bracket style, who would come out on top?
For Ernie's size, he's pretty strong. Maybe Kendra. He's got big size. So I'm not really sure. I haven't seen a lot of arm wrestling going on in the locker room.
We've heard Ernie a lot. He's been a very popular pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has he been our top answer probably?
I think Partial has been.
Partial. Oh, yeah, Partial as well. Someone said Ligas because he has that farm boy strength, as they said. Who said that about Ligas?
Oh, that was from last year. Let me pull it up.
I think...
Is it Colton, maybe?
Maybe it was. I can't remember. Maybe it was someone who graduated. Yeah, but they said that Ligas has the farm boy strength. Can you attest to that? Agree, disagree?
I've taken probably one hit from the kid in practice and definitely shook me up a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
Maybe it's little hidden strength he's got in him. But you can't really see it
you
by
don't
his
really see it
looks.
coming. That's fair. If you were stranded on an island and help is coming in 7 days and you can bring 2 teammates along with you to survive, who would you bring and why?
I bring Darcy because he's a great time.
Of course. You
Um,
got to keep it entertaining while you're abandoned, I suppose.
yeah, and maybe Justin Curcado.
Okay.
He's kind of, he's funny as well, and he's from New York, so I don't know. I like the New York people. I like the New York accent.
He'd keep it entertaining as well. Someone said Darcy because he would be able to make friends with other people you would find on the island. But then they said that also, like, when the rescue plane would come, like, you guys wouldn't want to leave the island because you'd be so, like, engrossed with everyone else on the island that you'd build, like, your own civilization in those 7 days with Darcy on the island, which I can totally see. I feel like
that sounds accurate.
I feel like Jack could have a conversation with a brick wall if he really needed to, you know? Like, he can just talk to anyone, I feel. What is your favorite vacation spot or, like, a favorite place to visit?
Favorite place I've ever been to is probably Aruba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 80 degrees and sunny, which is a good temperature. It's not too hot.
Yeah.
It wasn't too humid out there.
Yeah.
The days were very, very long.
That's good.
And there's just a lot of stuff to do, not just vacation stuff, but it's kind of got an American feel to it with places to go. So
any kind of like dream destination that you want to go to?
I definitely want to make it out to Italy at some point.
That'd be really cool.
Italy, Ireland. I actually want to travel a lot, so I could say anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. What are your so we have top 3 favorite movies down, but that's a very tough list to come up with. So we'll just go with top movie. Your favorite movie of all time.
Okay. I had a set answer to this for a long time. I think it's changed, and I think I forget what my new answer was. So my go-to was always Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
I think it's a fantastic film. It was directed amazingly.
Who's the director again?
I believe it's Steven Spielberg.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. Rebecca, you have to say yours. I know, but I just find it hilarious.
He makes fun of me every time. It's Spirit. It's a horse movie.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Rebecca's a reformed horse girl. Is that a good way to put it? A reformed
Sure.
It makes it seem like it's like a disease you had. You've been cured of your horse girlism.
Not really, but
Gonna have to go home and watch that.
there you go.
Form an opinion on it.
My favorite is Airplane. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Wow, too many people haven't seen Airplane. Wow, after you're done watching Spirit,
Yeah.
watch Airplane.
I'll go back to back and
You
see
can go
who's got the better
you can
favorite
go from
movie.
one extreme to the other. I love Airplane is a movie I can watch like countless times and I still pick up on jokes, which is like for me like the mark of a good movie when you notice stuff on rewatch throughs. But what is your go-to dance move?
There's this dance move that me and my buddy created in high school.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense, but you just kind of put your arms out and you like flap them like a wing.
Whatever
in the
works.
right setting, it looks a lot better.
Okay.
Maybe
That's
with some
fair.
music going too.
That's fair. That's fair. Someone was mentioning like a trademark Lewis hockey dance move, and I can't remember for the life of me who it was.
I think it was Ernie that brought it up, and he said to have Darcy demonstrate.
Yeah. Do you know anything
I
about?
know what they're talking about.
You
there.
do.
He kind of squats, gets down a little low, gets a good base, and
Okay.
and kind of just moves around.
Interesting.
Not a lot of movement of the feet, but he's moving his chest and his upper body a lot.
Got it.
Arms
Okay.
flailing, everything.
Okay. We'll need to ask him about that the next time we see him if he can demonstrate for us. Last time we asked
During
him about.
intermission.
Yeah.
Dance.
Yeah, we can get Jack on the intermission report and have him dance. There you go. That would be good. That would boost the view count a little
Exactly.
bit. Let's see. What would you consider your biggest life accomplishment so far?
That's a tough question.
We can do in or out of hockey.
In hockey, it was probably state championships. I
Sure.
mean, even at the JV level, it's still a hard thing to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's a long season. A lot of stuff goes into it, a lot of work.
Yeah.
But outside of hockey, probably just being in college right now.
Sure.
Neither of my parents went to and finished college, so it's kind of like first generation type thing.
Absolutely.
So I definitely feel proud of that.
Sure. Absolutely. Oh, I just lost my spot. There it is. What would be on the gag reel of your life, kind of like your life blooper reel? Any funny moments that come to mind?
Yeah, I broke my own collarbone playing hockey because
How did that happen?
I completely missed a check and just slid into the
Oh
boards.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. I was off balance, leaning forward a little bit too much. Just ended up on the ice, and I wasn't not moving fast at all. So I have no idea.
Like
I just hit the
low-speed
sweet spot on the board.
And it just
And I got up. I couldn't feel it. It didn't hurt. I got up, and my arm's just hanging. So I'm like, that's weird.
Wow. Oh, jeez. And then did, like, the pain kick in, or, like?
It kicked in after I got off the ice. I went on the bench, and my coach was like, actually, I think it was Coach Mark, because he used to be a coach of mine at Providence.
Ah, okay.
I think he came up to me. He's like, can you move it at all? And I was trying to move. I'm like, yeah, no.
You're like, I guess I can.
I literally cannot move it.
Jeez.
He's like, get off the ice. And then getting in the locker room, trying to take a chest protector off with a broken collarbone is not very.
I would say that can't be fun.
Not very fun at all.
Yeah. So how long did that sideline you then?
It was actually pretty quick. I think it was roughly, I think it was less than 12 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
okay.
I had
That's
a quick
not bad at all.
recovery. I had
Sure.
surgery, so they tried to do it without surgery. It wasn't working. It was broken in 3 places. So
Oh, boy. Okay.
I got some metal and some screws in there now.
Nice. That'll hold it together, hopefully.
I hope so.
I always find it amazing how, like, if you break a bone, like, if they don't need to operate on it, like that, like, just keeping it in place just lets it heal. Like, I don't know. The body's crazy. How it can just fix itself, like, for stuff like that. Wow. Let's see. If you, have we asked the name change one yet?
Yeah.
If you had to change your name, what would you change it to and why? This one's kind of weird, honestly.
Probably McLovin. If I had to go with a fake
That
name,
would be
it'd definitely be
the best
McLovin.
answer we've gotten. That's a weird question, though. I don't like that one. Oh, that's
I
kind
don't
of
know
odd.
why it's on there.
I don't know. You probably found it on, like, the odd list of,
Yeah, that's where I found a lot of these questions.
yeah. If you were a DJ on the radio, any thoughts on what a DJ name would be for you?
I had an old nickname in high school, Coco.
Okay.
It originates from having a bowl cut haircut, and they said I looked like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified.
Nice.
So I'd probably be like DJ Coco.
You could bring back the Skinny J as well.
Yeah, I could do
You
that.
know?
I got options, so.
There you go. Yeah. I feel like I know what your answer would be for this. What food could you not live without?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you work at a restaurant, you're either like you either like only eat what that restaurant eats, or like you like avoid it like the plague. You know, like my brother worked at a burger joint in high school, and now like he can't eat fast food burgers because he despises them. Like I feel like it goes either way.
Yeah.
You know.
I never get old of the food.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. Parcel came in the one time and had some like pasta or something from you guys.
Yeah.
That looked really good.
Yeah, Mondays are our buy one get one night. So
Okay, we'll keep
that's
that in
probably
mind.
it.
Tonight's Monday though.
He's a big fan of that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
Every Monday after practice in the locker room, he's like, "Boys, don't forget we got Bogo pastas at Farrick."
I can totally see that. Yeah, because I've only ever had the pizza because it's been at like athletic events and stuff, or like student events and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to branch out and try some of the pasta because it looked quite good. This is probably the oddest question you've probably ever been asked. How would you react if you were transformed into a fish? And we'll let you choose what fish you're transformed into.
Would I transform into a fish, like into water already?
Yeah, we'll go into water. That's like the second question we get.
I think I've heard this question before. It's interesting. Like we don't see air, so.
You've heard this question before?
No, I've heard something talked about like if we don't see air, can fish see water?
I thought you were talking about.
No.
I'm like, there's no
Definitely
way,
never.
There's no way you heard this question before.
But yeah, I think I would try and figure out if I could actually see the water.
That's interesting that you're bringing that up because yeah, like we don't see air. Yeah, huh?
And I would. Is a dolphin a fish?
For this question, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a dolphin.
We've had
They're
people
cool.
turn into sharks.
They do.
Sharks
because-
and
They do cool
octopus.
Yeah, who said an octopus?
Pusatera.
Yeah, who said he said an octopus? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about if you can see the water if you're a fish. Huh? Yeah, because I feel like every time like you see like fish portrayed in a movie, like they see the water. But that's what we see. Wow, I've never thought about that. Wow, that'll throw your mind for a loop. Because we can't see the air, can they see the water? Huh? Wow. The more you think about that's kind of tripping me up. If you could spend the day in any of your teammates' shoes, who would it be and why?
Maybe Matt Morrow.
Matt Morrow.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to leave his room very much. I think it'd be a pretty relaxing day.
Well, so I can't confirm. I live across the hall from Morrow, Bishop, and Candra. And
that must be tough for you. I'm sorry to hear that.
Luckily, there's a decent distance between the section doors. But when I walk past, almost on the regular, there's always music playing from there. Like every day, I feel there's always loud music, especially on game days. Like always know when you guys have a game because there's always loud music. Yeah. Getting them hyped up in there. Yeah, more would be interesting to see the world through his eyes. A lot of guys say Matt Gore. Matt Gore has been, I don't want to say unanimous answer.
Pretty much,
but
though.
As close as you can get. So I don't know if you can attest to wanting to see the life through Matt Gore's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, hearing that makes sense. Matt Gore's kind of an interesting character.
Yeah, that's seemingly what's like. I haven't talked to him a lot.
I feel
personally.
Like most of them gave that answer because they don't really know what he actually is doing. They want to find out.
Yeah, that seems. And we tried to have him on the show, but with scheduling and stuff, he hasn't been able to make it. So hopefully one of these days we can talk to Matt Gore because I feel like, I don't know, everyone has a story to tell, and I'd be curious to hear what his is. So, so that's all the questions we have. But this is a time where we can turn it over to you. Rebecca can pass the iPad over. If you have any questions for us, you can look through our long laundry list of questions. Or you can come up with some of your own if you have any.
Well, what made you guys come to Lewis?
You want to go first?
I have to think.
You have to think about your answer. We get this one every week.
I know. I think the big part is the scholarships because I have about half my tuition paid. And then another reason is it's close enough where I can go home, but it's also far enough where my mom can't come every day.
That's how UIC was for me. It was far enough, but not too far. I could still come home and enjoy some pizza for free.
For me, it was the scholarship I got as well, and just kind of. So I'm from Wisconsin, so it's like about a 2-hour drive home. So it's like you're away from home, but it's still like drivable distance. Like my brother went to school in upstate New York, which like he had to fly home every time he came home. You know, and like flying is like a half to a whole day, adventure. And like this, I can be home in 2 hours if I need to. So kind of. That distance was nice, getting that true college experience, but still being relatively close to home.
What sport, if any, have you guys played?
I'll let you go.
Volleyball, basketball, cross country, cheerleading, soccer, baseball.
You played everything.
So everything.
Pretty much,
wow,
yeah.
All the sports.
I mean, I played baseball, basketball, and football when I was very young, and none of those stuck. But I played tennis from when I was like 7 to throughout high school. And then that's about it. And I'm learning to play hockey now. I started skating like a year ago, so that's kind of been my...
Skating's the hard part.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Very hard.
I went to a stick and puck yesterday, and I toe picked and face planted pretty epically. And I think my glove jammed into my chest. So I'm like, okay, that didn't feel good. Let's not do that
Even
again.
after 10 years, I find myself on the ice more often than I'd like to be.
The one thing I do love, so I've been going to stick and pucks a lot more this spring and starting in January. Great thing about hockey equipment, when you fall, don't feel a thing.
Right.
It's so great. I'll fall over, not know how I fell or how I got on the ice, but I'm down here, but I didn't feel a thing. It's fantastic. You can slam your elbow into the ice and you don't feel a thing. It's so good. When I was going to public skates, you'd fall and you'd be like, ow, that kind of hurt. Now with this, I'll fall whenever I want because I don't feel a thing. It's fantastic.
Right. It doesn't make very much sense either. Other sports have shin guards. Maybe football has shoulder pads.
Yeah.
But I played football, and it definitely hurt falling down in football. It was not fun then. On the ice, you slide around. It could be fun.
I'll tell you.
I actually had a spin out.
You fall down, you just go for a little glide, and you're like, okay, get back up and keep going. It's great. Yeah.
Let's see. What is a blooper moment for you guys?
Ooh.
So I think that's actually a really good question.
I gotta think a blooper moment.
There's so many.
I haven't given this one a good thought yet. A blooper moment. Wow. You got anything, Rebecca?
All I can think of is going to your game. I slammed my finger in my car door.
Ouch.
Because I forgot to pull the door, and I just let it shut.
I know. I've on 2 occasions now kept a dome light on in my car and killed my battery. And I feel like the biggest idiot. Every time I go out to unlock my car and nothing happens. I don't know. I always realize what happened. Like, you're right, as like I can't unlock, and I'm like, oh, definitely left a light on in the car. Like, crap.
I just set a reminder to turn your car lights off.
Honestly, or I should just set them all to off and not worry about them. Like, I don't really need light in the inside of my car, right? You know, like, I can suffer in the dark. Yeah, that's what comes to mind. I don't know. My brother has also done the same thing, like, once on his car. Like, my parents say it's something about us that we just keep our dome lights on, I suppose. It's really annoying, though, because you try to go somewhere and then you got to wait for, like, LUPD to come jump your car, and you're like, oh, God, now I'm going to be late.
But they're fast for you.
They are fast. Yeah, the last
For
time
you.
the last time it took, like, 15 minutes. It was great. Yeah, you have problems with them being late.
Yeah, I got locked out of my dorm once because the battery died. It took them 2 hours to get there.
Can't imagine.
I got locked out once. Or, well, not locked out. My battery died as well. And they were there in, like, 5 minutes. It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Favoritism.
Maybe they just see your name and they're like, no. We'll take a little bit more
Something
time.
against you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I see you got you're repping the Golden Knights. Is that
yes.
because Wisconsin doesn't have an NHL team, or
partially.
something about the Knights that just kind of struck with you? Because I got an old teammate who Chicago his whole life, and now he's a diehard Knights fan. So
Yeah, so I started watching hockey like around like 8, I believe. And at the time I was a Vancouver fan because they were doing decent. And then they made their run like around like 2011 and stuff. And I was a big Luongo fan. And then he went to Florida, so I followed him to Florida, and I had the normal Florida fan experience of disappointment. But then Vegas entered the league. And I'm like, fresh team, fresh start, can, grow as a fan with the team. And it's stuck ever since, honestly. They had the good first year, and that kind of solidified it. So, yeah, it helped that Wisconsin didn't have an NHL team. I mean, we had the Admirals in the AHL, but kind of finding a fan base to actually be a part of was good, and starting from the start was a plus side as well.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. With Chicago sports, I'm a Sox fan, I'm a Hawks fan, but kind of looking for a new football team because it's just getting ridiculous.
As you wear a Bears hat, I see.
I mean, it's a great hat, but I'm not a very big fan of the Bears right now.
Yeah, they're Chicago sports have been they've all kind of been in a rut recently.
It's so strange.
What was
it's like they were struggling, and then the Hawks turned out to actually be playing good. I think the Bulls are doing decent,
I have
at
no
least
idea.
better than expected now. Yeah, I've been to one Bulls game in my life. Not really a big basketball fan, so
That's fair. Yeah, it seems like everyone, ever since the Cubs won the World Series, it was
just bad juju. The Cubs just
I
should
suppose
not be
so.
winning a World Series. It's
Yeah.
just how history is.
Yeah,
bad.
maybe in like another 104 years,
That's-
Chicago sports will be better.
Yeah, we had the 104-year drought in
You have
Chicago
to
as a whole.
wait. You have to wait that whole time. That would be brutal. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine that. Jeez. You kind of know how like Toronto and Montreal feel with their Stanley Cup droughts. Oh man.
Are you guys both living on campus?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
It's not that bad.
Again, we have very different experiences.
I suppose so.
You guys have opposite experiences.
Yeah.
How many
I
times
guess.
did your fire alarm go off last semester?
One, and that was a drill.
13.
Oh,
Why?
So we had the one fire drill.
I mean, you got a lot of clowns that don't know how to use a microwave.
Half of it's just wiring issues.
Yeah, you're also in an older dorm, though.
I didn't have this problem in Shield.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't had any problems with the fire alarms. I don't know what you want me to say.
How do you guys like the campus? Because I'm living off campus, and
Okay.
all my classes are online, so I've made it out to campus for COVID testing for hockey and for this interview here. So
And that's about it.
I'm not very familiar with the campus at all.
I like it.
I like it. There's certain areas that
I mean, yeah,
need to be tweaked a
there are
little.
certain areas that like kind of grind your gears a little bit, but like I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be that different from college to college. Like I personally like it's a smaller campus. It's easy to walk everywhere. I don't feel like I don't know. Like a lot of people like drive to AS on the other side of campus. I'm like, okay, it's not that long of a walk. It takes like you can be across campus. Like if you really need to be across campus, you can make it in like
15 minutes.
I was gonna say 10. Like if you
If
really
you're moving.
if you
Well,
really
I
gotta
was thinking
move.
from like here to Borromeo.
Oh, here to Borromeo like 15, but like here to AS, you can probably make
10.
that in like 7 to 10 minutes. Like if you really have to be there, like it's a pretty small campus, so it's nice. I mean, like I don't know.
The only way I drive to AS is if we had like a bunch of camera equipment.
Yeah, that would be the only thing. But yeah, I personally like it on campus. I don't know. Everything's real close together. You know,
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from my short time being here.
there's not really like a residential area and then like an academic area. Like it's a little bit split up, but everything is pretty evenly mixed together. So you never feel like you have to go far to be somewhere, which is what I really like as well. Because like where my brother went, there was like a very distinct like the one side of campus was all of the residence halls, and then you hit like all of the athletic stuff, so like the field house, the gym, the ice rink, yada yada, and then like you hit like the academic wing, and like I don't know, like to walk all the way across campus to get this stuff, like I don't know, it seemed kind of odd. So I like how it's all kind of mixed together here.
All right, and then do you guys have any class that's just ridiculous, like you feel like you just need to drop it? Because I have this one class that I can't find the motivation whatsoever to do the work. It's Introduction to Information Systems.
I hated that class.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. We don't have
for
a
it.
set time lecture. All the assignments take like 3 hours to do.
Oh boy.
And it's just like I hope I pass because I do not want to take this class again.
Yeah, I've like never really had, well, none this semester. This semester is pretty good. Right, I should say it's good. I mean, I don't really have a ton of work to do this semester. There was this one class, it was ethics, and it was online, and it was brutal. Like I think we had to do a quiz, and then we had to do a discussion post. But like the discussion post had like a word count, and there was like a ton of bullet points you had to touch on, and like I was struggling getting points, like adequate points in the discussion post. So I emailed the professor. I'm like, hey, just wondering what I can do, and like the response that I got back was just like, it was very like, it felt like very like cookie cutter. Like, oh, and like you could tell that it felt like it was taken straight off the syllabus and what I need to do. I'm like, okay, this really doesn't help me because like that doesn't make much sense to me. That was really the only one though, honestly. Like there's been no classes I've been like, holy crap, get me out of here, you know, luckily. So I've had a good experience with that, but I don't know about you, Rebecca.
I'll say right now I have no motivation just because of senioritis, but information systems or I forget what it's called. It was like some security class, just no motivation.
I could not do computer science classes. I don't know. Like
I enjoyed them when I was taking them.
Like I enjoyed them in high school, and then I got here, and it's
yeah, because like I'm
not
someone that
fun.
like I like computers, but like I don't know if I like them enough to like learn how they program and stuff like that. Like that's a lot. Like I don't know. I just can't like stare at code all day or anything like that. That would be really
it's
boring.
not as bad as you think.
I feel like I'd start to fall asleep, or like my contacts would fall out of my head. You know, I just I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I guess someone needs to do it though, and if they find who can, then more power to them. Because I couldn't. Any other questions for us, Josh?
Yeah, sure. If you
All
guys
right.
had one person that you could be switch bodies for a day, who would it be?
Ooh. That's another good one. Person, I guess. Maybe my brother. He lives in Hawaii.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'd really like to just live a day
Yeah.
in Hawaii. That would be really good. Just to choose a random day, being like, oh, you know, the weather's a little down in Illinois. You know, I'll just spend a day in Hawaii. That would be pretty cool. I'd like that.
I'd say I'd like to be the Pope. I think he's
Oh, that would be
got an
cool.
interesting day-to-day
Yeah.
schedule.
Or like,
and
yeah.
he lives in a really cool place too.
That's true. I feel like anyone in a position of power would be cool just to
Right.
see like all the details that go into it.
Right, but like nobody hates the Pope, so
That's fair.
everybody likes the Pope.
That's fair. He's probably honestly like the most like likable person in power, because everyone like else has the people that don't like him.
He's got
You
a
know.
cool car too.
He does have a cool car. He has the Pope mobile. Yeah, you could go for a ride in that. That would be good.
I saw a video of someone handing him a pizza while he was on the Pope mobile. I was like, it should definitely not be that easy to hand the Pope a pizza.
I think the Pope got a Golden Knights jersey the one year.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I think I did see
somehow
that.
a Golden Knights jersey
Yeah.
made its way to the Vatican, which I'm not exactly sure how, but it did. Who would you switch bodies with, Rebecca?
I kind of want to say one of my best friends, Kristen.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. She's just all over the place. I want to know what's happening.
What's going on in her head?
That would be yeah. Knowing Kristen, that would be a very interesting day. We'll go with that. Yeah.
We've had some interesting conversations.
That's a good way to put it.
Most of which aren't appropriate for air, but.
Oh gosh. And anything else, Russ? Or
Nope, no more questions.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Thanks for coming on. Glad
Thanks
we could do
again for
this.
having me. This was fun.
We normally ask the current guests who they would like to see on the show next week, but the scheduling has been a little tricky for that. But if you do have any suggestions, we're open to them. Players you'd want on.
I'd like to hear from Mike Fisher or Max Krause.
Fisher would be good, and Krause. Yeah, those are because we've had Pusatera on already, and we've had Jack Reedy. So I think Fisher and Krause are the only two freshmen we haven't heard from as of yet, if I'm remembering the roster properly.
I'm mixing up two teams.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
You have the Cougars. Yeah. So, maybe we'll reach out to some of the freshmen, bring them on, get to know a little bit more about them. But, yeah, that'll be great. All right. Well, Josh, thanks for coming on. This has been the Dumb and Chase podcast. This episode will be up on YouTube. Who knows how long? We're a little backlogged on that, but we'll get to that eventually.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Before the end of the year.
Yeah, it'll be on before Rebecca graduates. But other than that, that'll do us for tonight. We'll be back next week, same place, same time. Or no, we won't be. Yes. The spring break is really throwing me off with the schedule because I'm used to having a whole week, I'll admit. We will be back next week, hopefully with another guest. But as for us tonight, that'll do it. Reid and Rebecca for the Dumb and Chase podcast. Have a great night.